TGIF. Excellent. Yes, agree with that sentiment as well. It's been an interesting week. It's been a lovely week, but I just finding things are so busy at the moment, including why, if I've got time later on today, we'll tell you why there is no water currently coming into the Munson household. Human error and culture challenges. I think a mixture of those two. Quite a lot of human error on my part, as ever, in that sort of department. You might not be surprised to hear, but an exercise in personal growth for sure. A lot of that going on at the moment, and an interesting interaction with the water board, as they used to be called. Although that means something different now, doesn't it? João Ernesto de Norte, Bom dia Portugal. Lovely news. Thank you, John, for sharing that with me a little bit earlier on this morning. Great to see you here this morning. Or Meu Deus, é sexta-feira. Yeah, putting the sex in sexta-feira. You, me, Phil, and Ian this morning. Those gentlemen will be joining me around 8:20. So let's crack on. Yes. Okay, so you as well. My water bill went into the spam last month. Yes, my second reminder for one of my bills went into spam or something as well. Okay, Pete, you're feeling it too. The man should be back this morning to turn it back on. But what an episode that's been, with its funny moments as well, because you got to laugh. Otherwise, what else would you do? Right. A couple of things to bring you before 8:20. Also, a very interesting experiment in AI this morning. One quick, a news quickie here, if I may, with you. I do a news bite. We, of course, have the Dream Team session with Expats Portugal on a Thursday evening between 9 and 10, now called the Town Hall. Very good it is too, with all the professionals that help you move to Portugal, carefully hand curated by Expats Portugal. And also, actually, the webinar was very good. Gilda was doing a review of the current lineup, a refresher on the D visas, the D2, the D7 and D8. Talk to her about those, and with Anna, and lovely Anna and Claudia from the Porto office as well of EI. I mean, she's getting a lot of difficulties with being confused with AI, because EI, Gilda's company, is pronounced A. And I think people are saying, why is your company run on AI? And it isn't at the moment anyway, I don't think, as far as I'm aware. Only human intelligence currently. And what's wrong with that? Yeah, great. Well, anyway, great session with Gilda at 7:30. That'll be up on the Expats Portugal YouTube channel for Sunday at around 6. And then to kick off the town hall, I do a few news bites, and this was one of them. Can foreigners vote in local elections? And this is from Bruno Santos in the Portugal News. And thank you for the kind words as well. How people, some people anyway, are enjoying the new variety of the show, or the variety that's been brought in with this Bom Dia Daily part of the show. So thanks for that feedback. Local elections will be taking place in Portugal in September. Although the date is not yet confirmed, foreign residents may vote to choose the next mayor of the city in which they reside. So the president of your Junta de Freguesia and your mayor in your municipality is up for grabs. In September, residents in Portugal will go to the polls to choose the next 308 mayors. There's a lot of people, a lot of variables in this, as well as the members of the municipal assemblies. People will also pick more than 3,000 presidents. I live next door to mine, of parishes around the country. I'm not sure if he can keep running for president, or if they have to present a new one. In this election, people will choose the best candidate to represent and work in their cities and towns. And that's what Daniel was saying last night is great about these local elections. You're voting for people you know and live with. T-Duck, good to see you. Bom dia, Alegria Gumpers. I'm late again. No, not too bad. Only just a few days. Morning to you. Great to see you. Morning to you, Hugh, as well. Excellent. Yeah, João Ernesto, thank you for that bit of feedback there. Yeah, on the technicalities, you need to show up at your Junta de Freguesia to register as well. As I understand it, and I did ask Daniel about this, when you become a resident, you're automatically entered into the electoral roll. But it's important to go to your Junta de Freguesia, your parish office, and ask to register to vote, and you'll get a voting number or reference, I think. And the other part of it that I was just beginning to speak about there was that you are voting for people whose faces may well be familiar to. They might be neighbors, like the president of this Junta de Freguesia is my neighbor. And the number 2, I know him as well. And when I see him in the cafe, the grannies in the cafe are insulting him and swearing at him and telling him what a pillock he is and stuff like that in quite a playful way. But what fantastic local and accountable democracy that is. Not looking forward. We have the loveliest mayor in Portugal. She even turned up to sing to us last night. Oh, okay. So it's turning over, is it, to somebody new there, Pete? Well, you get a chance to vote on that. So that's our first bit of news this morning. And something else that I might return to as well. Oh my goodness, my voice is going. What's happening there? You're watching the Bom Dia Daily, part of Good Morning Portugal. 20 minutes of news, weather, language, culture, and well-being here in Portugal. We'll extend the well-being, put the sex in sexta-feira with Ian and Phil a little bit later on and catch up with those fine gentlemen. Talking about swearing in cafes, I can't read this out. That would be improper, impolite, and uncouth, would it not? But there you go. That's the sort of thing you might hear in a cafe. That's the most popular swear word apparently in Portugal. And there's all the others. If you're traveling around Europe and want to make yourself really unpopular, that's the chart, the map that you need for doing so. Isn't that interesting? There are a great deal of similarities there. Ireland and UK have a very similar approach. Portugal and Spain do not as neighbours. And I never had heard of that Spanish swearing right there. But if you need it, there it is. You're very welcome. Right. The other part of the news this morning, you might have seen in the opening sequence if you were here. Look at that wrecking ball smashing a rusty old filing cabinet. Bureaucracy bashing begins. So let me bring onto the screen this news article as well. This is from the Portugal Resident. And it's not the 50 ways to leave your lover. It's the 30 ways to reduce bureaucracy here in Portugal. And I'll do a few of these. There are 30 of them. That's a lot to read through. And some of them are quite obscure. Some of them you will recognize and might welcome. And I don't know if this is at proposal stage or whether and how many of these have come into being. But the government presents 30 measures to reduce Portugal's fiscal bureaucracy mainly. But of course, fiscal matters do extend into our daily lives, of course, don't they, here in Portugal? Objective to simplify procedures for businesses and families. That's the AI voice. That's how we thought they would talk, isn't it, years ago? Today's Council of Ministers, this was hot off the press yesterday, has seen the government approve, so it's been approved, a set of 30 tax simplification measures, the vast majority of which focus on reducing bureaucracy and state costs. And these will also reduce costs for accountants and the people who administer your affairs financially as well. So it's good all round in many ways, as Pedro Franco was saying last night on the town hall. He's the tax man from EI. These include changes to the payment date of the IUC. That's your road tax. I think everyone's going to start paying that on the same day, which makes some sense, doesn't it? I think there might be a teething problem on the first day when everyone pays it at the same time. Maybe, I don't know. And if that's indeed what that means, you might help me here. Changes to the payment of stamp duty in the case of donations or inheritances, and a review of the IES, the Simplified Business Information Form. Minister of Finance Joaquim Miranda Sarmento took advantage of the press conference after the Council of Ministers meeting to thank the 80 Tax and Customs Authority, Finanças we call them, don't we? Since some of the suggestions came from them. Minister for the Economy Pedro Reis described the package, who doesn't like a well-formed package first thing in the morning, as focused on reducing that's an especially good one, isn't it? What companies can see is more transparency. It doesn't like more transparency first thing in the morning. Not to be confused with a well-formed package. Or maybe, yes, a nice, transparent, no. What companies can see is more transparency in the relationship. Who doesn't like more transparency in their relationship first thing in the morning? More agility in the morning. A reduction in friction. Oh, yes. It works on so many levels. Thank you, Natasha. Costs and time that this implies for companies. Less waste so they can focus on what is essential, which is their growth. And who doesn't like a bit of growth first thing in the morning? Oh, my goodness. Here are some of the measures that would change. Calm down, Carl. Whew. Be still, my beating heart. Here are some of the measures that would change the way taxpayers interact with the state in fulfilling their tax obligations. Right, I might come back to these, but I'll give you some highlights. Yeah, so the road tax will affect all of us drivers here and how that's sorted out. The simplification of IES has been simplified here to one sentence. The government will simplify the IES form, eliminating information annexes such as Q and O. Well, thank goodness for that. Medical certificate of multi-purpose disability, vehicle tax, tax identification for self-employed. Yeah, people running businesses here, VAT refunds, invoicing rules. A renovation of the portal is also one of these, which I think the staff were thanked for. And withholding tax is waived for self-employed workers, capital income and property income if the amount is less than 25 quid. Euros, I beg your pardon. What's the slang for euros? We don't have. We've got quids, haven't we, and bucks for dollars and pounds. I don't know what the slang is or the street talk for euros. That's interesting, isn't it? Do you know of one of those? Anyway, come back to that a little bit later on. I think that's very interesting, and it's more of this government efficiency. It's strange timing, isn't it, with when these themes like building back better and simplifying things with doji type advisors to the government are all on the same agenda around the world. It's almost like there's the jostling for one world government going on or something like that, isn't it? Funny. Join up the dots. Hey, Hugh. Not looking forward to the mayor going. Oh, we've done that one. Bon dia, Thunderduck. I was late too, so we both on the naughty step. It's funny. I was going to say there is no naughty step here on the Good Morning Portugal show. Truth is, there's just one massive naughty step, and you are all on it. Take in a good way. Tegretol at the smallest dose level has helped tremendously. Well, that's good to know with the trigeminal neuralgia. Almost no pain for 2 days. Isn't this wonderful? I have been able to chew food normally without fear, and that's been such a. I bet. Can you imagine that? Not being able to chew or speak for fear of pain. So I'm so glad to hear that, John. And a bon dia gumpers from Mike this morning, who helped us out with the LA, the wildfire solidarity live stream that we did the other day, and we had some good feedback from that as well. Thanking you for that, Mike. This is just for the TV license alone, isn't it worth it? He can't break this habit. It's like me and LBC. I was listening on Radio 4 yesterday. Good morning. You're listening to BBC Radio 4, where we now go to the news and a comment from Peter Bleach in central part of Portugal. I was listening on Radio 4 yesterday, and they were interviewing people who had jaw cancer. Oh, yikes. Said that learning to swallow again, even with MASH, was like swallowing bricks. That must be awful. My goodness. So that's wonderful news for you, John. Well done, mate. I'm glad to hear that. Legal residents, yes, thank you for your input on that too. As well, Ernesto, back in business, well and truly. Coach Turner's here as well. Lovely day in London yesterday. It's easy to forget what a fantastic city it is. I was thinking that only recently when I was seeing pictures sent by my daughter of where was she? At Spitalfields, I think. It's an amazing city. It has its challenges, like many cities do in this time of history. But what an amazing place. Joining Carl very shortly. Is there any other way, Coach Turner? You're actually quite tall. Thunderduck, the naughty step is a great place to be. It's where the in crowd together with gelato, yeah, cigarettes, chewing tobacco, that sort of thing, swearing. They'll love that swearing map, all of you lot on the naughty step. We just had the most incredible evening. 15 singers came from all over the village to sing our Portuguese class into the new year. Cantar as Janeiras, and had my homemade sausage rolls. What does that mean exactly, Pete? And steak bakes and horseradish. That sounds great. Are you growing horseradish? Asking for a friend. Can you see my Toddy's tonic bottle up there? Where is it? There. She needs horseradish, the plant, not the sauce. Did you get that from like a UK food importer, or are you actually growing horseradish on the estate there, Pete? Would like to know that as a desperate a plea for horseradish. But your homemade sausage rolls and steak bakes sound fantastic, and how lovely that is. A little bit of Portuguese language there, and all the culture and the language. Cantar as Janeiras, which of course Philomena told us about a couple of months last year, wasn't it? I think last year. This time last year. I believe in Build Back Better. I build a fudge collection, eat it, then build it back better. Very good. Who doesn't like a bit of fudge first thing in the morning? Jackie. I know, Coach. I know. So life, that's sounding like something I really missed out on. So wish I'd seen that. What an amazing experience. You have to have your neighbours turn up. And maybe if they want you to turn the noise down, want to complain about your dog, they do it in a traditional Portuguese song. That's the way to do it. Ah, all the cool kids hang out on the naughty step. Listen to you. It smells good on the naughty step. Yeah, I know what it smells of on the naughty step. Bon dia, links, and the old devil's lettuce, I bet. Bon dia, peoples from JMC. Hi, JMC, how are you? Iberian links, of course, when you're on the Good Morning Portugal show. Their new fragrance, Iberian links. What would that smell of? That would be like sausage and garlic flavor, wouldn't it? Bon dia, Gumpers. Drives the ladies mad. Feliz sexta a todos. Como estão? A correr a vosso dia. Nice one, James. Oh, we've got a video of the singers. That's fantastic. Right, Coach Turner and Phil here at 8:20. So I better crack on. The well-being part of the Bondia Daily, of course, is in human form with Coach Turner. And it's not the devil's lettuce, it's mine, says Jackie. My favorite. Well, look, more slang words about the old wacky backy. I love those. And the slang for the euro, we haven't got that yet. Does anybody know what the street name for euros is? You know, we've got the quid for the pound, and we've got bucks and Benjamins and all sorts for the dollar as well, of course, and the loonie for the Canadian. But what are euros called? It's a bit boring, isn't it? They're just called euros, for goodness sake. What is the street word for euros? Okay, let's have a look at some lettuce then. Lettuce. Why did I just? It's the tip of the iceberg, I tell you. Let's have a look at some weather. Well, that was weird. Okay, let's go see the weather, because there's a really nice sunny day and sunny weekend ahead of us, or at least part of it. There you go. There's the website. Oh, yesterday's image, more CCTV in Lisbon. Oh, Pedro Franco said to me, I asked the panel last night what they thought about more CCTV. Mixed feelings, really. You know, great if it does help. And it probably won't. And we've got old grannies, as you can see in the picture, in Portugal to make sure everything's okay on the streets. But Pedro Franco said something really, really smart. He said, don't worry, Cole. They're not plugged in. They're only cameras. So everything's fine, everybody, if you were worried about your personal privacy, which Nunu said didn't exist anyway, so don't worry about it. Right. Yeah, the government are saving money by not actually having anything behind the cameras. They just put the cameras up. The cables disappear into the wall and don't go anywhere. They're going to save taxpayer bucks, quids, and whatever euros are by not actually plugging them into any computers or anything like that. Right, the weather. In Lisbon, 8 degrees at the moment, an almighty 8 degrees, which you would be thankful for if you live in Ohio or New York at the moment, I think. 15 the high and sunny. Sunny day tomorrow as well, 14 the high. Porto, 7 degrees at the moment with a clear sky. Sunny again, sunny tomorrow too. Looks like some rain is returning around the country on Sunday and Monday, by the way. Coimbra, so enjoy it this weekend, or enjoy it today and tomorrow. And the balance is in favour of sunny days again here in Portugal. Thank goodness for that. Take that, Portugueser. Coimbra, 4 degrees, clear sky, 16 the high today, 16 tomorrow as well in central, in Coimbra anyway. Faro, 9 degrees, clear sky at the moment, 14 degrees today, 14 degrees tomorrow. Cloudy Sunday, no rain there. That's coming in on Monday in the Algarve. Braga, 3 degrees, clear sky currently, 13 degrees today and tomorrow. That's all right, isn't it? Further weather by request. So give me a shout out if you would like to see that. And don't forget to get your free copy of Good Morning Portugal's, or Spartan FX's special Good Morning Portugal Moving Money to Portugal guide, GMP at spartanfx.co.uk, or just reach out to them and open up your free account with them for changing your local currency into euros. Right. Let's get into the Good Morning Portugal show,